Okay, so let's get started. Let's open up a Unity Hub, and we're going to create a new project. So click on New. Okay, and then once you get into here, make sure you select 3D. And then the name of the project is just going to be called Projectiles. And then click on Create.
Wait,
Projectiles, or bullets, or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Okay, and you should get something like this. Again, this is what we just what we did last time. You should get a window like this. Okay. Let's give you a couple seconds to let this load. Okay. Once you have this this window open, we can start on our project. So today we'll be working on projectiles. We'll be using two methods. The first one is called instantiating an object and using physics with rigid bodies. So just throwing, basically, imagine you're throwing like a bowling ball or like a cannonball. That you give it some force, and then if it's flying, it's gonna start, that little curve. It's gonna start dropping due to gravity.
I can't see your screen sharing. It's all black.
I'm sorry?
Your screen sharing is all black.
My screen share is all black?
Yes.
Okay. I know there was something wrong.
How about others?
Yeah, I think it was black for me.
I can't see it either.
Okay, now can you see it?
Yeah, now I
Yes,
can see
now,
it.
There we go.
now we all
Okay.
can.
I'm sorry, there was something wrong with the, it said something overlay. Okay, okay, so like I said, there we go. We have our scene, and again, we'll be working with projectiles. So the first thing we're going to do is, of course, create a ground and a player, just so we can move around. This time we are changing our type of character. We're not doing third person, now we're doing first person. So if you don't know what a third person versus first person is, it's basically a third person is more of it's more of a camera following a character. So you can imagine like God of War or the Halo series, where you have a character model in front of you, and wherever you move, the camera is going to orbit around that player, and it's going to basically follow the player. Then we have first person, where basically you are the player. So you look up, you look down, and then you have your little crosshair where you can, aim and shoot and interact with things. So we'll be working with first person today. I'm not going to go too much into detail of the movement in first person because it's fairly complicated. But I'm just going to go over briefly so you guys understand what's going on there. And then we are going to focus more on the instantiating the bullets. Okay. So again, you have your new scene. And we're going to do is click on game object, and we're going to create a plane. So 3D object and then plane.
So wait, 3D. I forgot where that was.
It's on the menu bar. It's a game
okay.
object. Yeah. 3D, and we're looking for a plane. Okay.
Plane.
And then once you make this plane, once you make this plane, on the right hand side on the transform, make the make the X 0, Y 0, and Z 0. Make sure you
for
center
scale or for
position.
scale?
for position.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're all
if you-
zeros.
Okay, if it's all zeros, that's great. Mine wasn't at 0, so just make sure it's at 0. And then for scale, make it 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5.
Oh wait, just a minute.
Yeah.
Yo, 5, 5, 5, 5.
Okay. Once you have that, we're going to make another object. So we're going to click on 3D game object, sorry. Go to 3D, and we're going to create a capsule. Okay. And this is going to be our character for now. Okay.
Do you want the Y to be 5 too? Or the
Yeah, you can make the Y5. It's not going to change it, but yeah, just make everything 5 on the scale. Okay. And then we're going to create our capsule. So just go to game object, 3D object, and then capsule. Okay. And again, this is going to be our character. Now we are going to add something to our character because it's kind of hard to see where is our front, because this is a circular object. You don't really know, where our front is. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a small little kind of gun. So we're going to click game object and then 3D object in a cube. So add a cube to the scene. Okay. And then this cube, we're going to change its size to look something like this, like a long rectangle, like that. And I'm going to put it to this. I'm going to put it to the side of the character like this.
How do I do that?
Like I said, first create a cube. So game object, 3D object, and then cube. Okay. Once you create the cube, use your tool. So you can either press R or click on this tool here, the scale tool. Okay. Once you scale the tool, then you can start scaling the object. Make it look something like this, right? A long rectangle. And then once you're done scaling, move it. Press the W key or use this button here, and then move it right to the side, kind of like an arm.
How do I know which direction it's supposed to point?
It could be whichever. This one, if you make it, I like doing where the what's it called? The blue arrow. The blue arrow is technically your front. So try to have
Okay, let me
everything
try to
to the blue arrow.
a little bit. Let me try to fix it. Is it supposed to attach onto it?
I'm sorry?
Is it supposed to attach onto it?
Yeah, you can put it to the side. I mean, you don't have to put it all the way in. You can if you want to. I'm just
And
gonna
also,
leave it
can
at
you
that.
duplicate this?
You can if you want to. Yeah.
I want to duplicate. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do is, of course, if you don't have lighting on, make sure you have lighting on. To turn on your lighting, it says down here on the bottom right, it says auto generate lighting on. Just double click it and just check mark your auto generate, and the light should turn on. If it's already on, then don't worry.
Is it M?
Oh, auto generate.
Yeah, auto generate. Just a check mark.
Oh.
If it's and it should turn the lights on.
Okay,
it renders. Yeah, it does a better.
Mine
My
takes the lighting menu.
Yeah. So if you double click that, it gives you a lighting menu, like a little side thing. Go all the way in the bottom. There's a small check mark. It says
Okay.
auto generate.
Auto generate.
Yeah, just check mark. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you have your lighting
bright.
on, I'm sorry?
It's super bright though. Is that normal?
Yeah, it's supposed to be super bright
Okay.
because white is very and it's very reflective. Okay, so we're gonna change stuff around. We're gonna add some colors. So we're gonna right click down here in the assets folder down here. Just right click, and then we're gonna go to create, and we're gonna go to material. Okay.
Wait. So create and the material. I don't see. Wait.
Right
What
click on
are
the
we
bottom.
clicking?
Make sure you're clicking on the bottom where the folder is.
I forgot how to do that.
It's down here. Look at my screen. Do you see where my mouse is hovering?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where
Okay.
that's where we right click.
Right click and the material.
Create material.
Material. Oh, create.
Okay. And in there, we're gonna create. I'm gonna create 3 materials. Well, yeah, no, I'm just gonna create 2 materials. We don't need one of them because it's gonna be first person. So the first one is gonna be ground. This is gonna be your ground color. I'm gonna create another one. Go to create and material again. and then rename it. I'm gonna call it launcher.
Huh?
Okay. So once you have this,
Wait,
just
name
click
it
on the.
what?
I'm sorry.
What do we name that?
Launcher. I called it launcher. You can call it whatever you want.
I'm gonna call it.
Okay. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the color. So let's just say ground. You're gonna click on ground, and then on the right hand side on the inspector, you have a property called albedo. Click on that albedo. There's like a white color. Click on that. Then you get a color wheel. This is ground. So for the ground, I'm gonna pick like a green color. Okay. Once you pick your color, all you have to do is click your color down here, wherever your folder is. Click it and drag it into the scene, and then it recolors everything. Okay. My launcher is going to be the little projectile weapon I have. So I'm going to make this black and put this there. Okay. Now my scene looks something like this.
Okay, just a minute. Let me try. Jazz. Do we press on albedo?
Yeah.
With nothing.
You press on albedo, the little white box on the right, right next to right next to albedo.
Oh, okay. There.
I mean, I can't because my mom's gonna get back.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
Yeah.
What color should I choose? That's enough.
Okay. So once you have your color, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to download the scripts for our camera and our player. So I'm going to share the link on the comments. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, go to that link, and that should be the drive. And then download both of the scripts. Once you download both of the scripts, and put it inside Unity. So if you guys want to take a look here, you just I suggest you not downloading both at the same time. Just download each one individually, so it doesn't zip it. So just right click and then download, and then right click download. Okay. So now you have these two scripts. Okay, and all you have to do is just click and drag them inside Unity. Down here where it says project, just drop it there, and do the same thing with the other.
Huh?
Like that. Okay. Then you have both of the scripts in Unity.
Wait. I don't see my screen. Okay. Right here.
What was that?
Oh wait. No. A minute. I'm getting a little. So I drag it in there.
Yeah, you drag it in the project folder. Make sure yours it says the C# thing. I think since you guys have new versions, I think it's like a green color C#.
Yeah, it has a C.
Or
Okay,
just the hashtag, I think.
I only have a sharp.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, you guys have new versions. This one is a 2019 version. You guys have 2020s. Okay. So once you download the stuff, what we're gonna do is click on your capsule. Okay, and we have to rename this capsule because we don't want to call it capsule. So up here where it says next to the check mark on the inspector, it says capsule. Rename this to player. Okay. Once you rename it to player, we're gonna add a component. So click on add component, and we're gonna look for player movement. So player movement is gonna be called player movement FPS.
Wait, what?
Select it. I'm sorry.
So add component.
Yeah, add component, and then look for player movement FPS.
It says new script.
Did you drag it? Did you download the stuff you downloaded? Did you drag it into your folder?
The stuff I did it.
It shouldn't be a new script. It's you downloaded it, so you're able to use it.
Player movement
What?
says new script.
No, it shouldn't be a new script. Can you share your screen so I can see what you're doing?
Okay. How do I do that? Share screen. There's no button that says share screen.
The share screen button is next to turn on captions.
I don't see it. It's not there.
Okay, do you see where you turn off your microphone, red phone, and then turn off your camera?
Yeah,
Okay, all the way to the right.
it's blank.
Does it say turn on captions?
Yeah,
Okay, and then does it say anything to the right?
it only has the 3 dots. More options.
Okay. You know what? Can you go out and come back in on the Google Meet?
Okay.
Okay. And share your camera. I mean, share your.
Okay, now I see it.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I see your problem. The problem is you downloaded FPS twice. You see there it says FPS and then FPS parentheses 1. Delete the 1 with the parentheses.
Okay.
Right click.
Click.
Delete.
Delete.
Delete it. Yeah, and you're missing one of the scripts. You have FPS, but you don't have a player controller. So you didn't download it. You didn't download.
It's this one, right?
Yeah, right click and then download. Or just do that. And click and drag it. Okay, perfect. There you go. Okay. And now click on your capsule. Okay, and then scroll down and then add component. Okay, and now you're looking for player movement. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, you're on track. All right, let me go back to mine. Okay, so now that we have the player movement script, the next thing we're going to do is add a character controller. So add a component and look for a character controller. Okay, and we're also going to add a rigid body.
Add a component, rigid body.
Yeah, rigid body and character controller. With the rigid body, make sure you click on the constraints little arrow and then constrain X, Y, and Z. You have to constrain X, Y, and Z. Okay?
For freeze position or freeze rotation?
Rotation.
Okay.
Okay? So once you have that, now you should have player movement enabled. The next thing you need to do is work with the camera because the camera has to be on the player. So while you're selecting a capsule, we need to remove the skin of the capsule or the mesh. So to remove that, scroll up on your capsule, and then you should see a component called capsule mesh filter and then mesh renderer. So click on on mine it's the gears. I think on yours it's 3 dots maybe, and then remove the component. So remove component. And
I don't
remove
see the capsule anymore.
Yeah, once you remove the component, there is no capsule, only the capsule collider, and that's exactly what we want. Okay, so it should be like it should be nothing, just like a green outline of the collider.
Okay.
Wait, Wait, sorry. So after we go to capsule mesh filter and then we click on the dot, what do we do?
Remove component.
I'm not seeing that.
It's
Here.
it's the last button on the right on every component.
So
You should
click
be
on
able to.
player. Click on like mesh.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
Alright.
make sure you remove both components.
Yep.
Both the mesh filter and then the mesh renderer. Okay. So once you remove them, again, you should have
where is that? Sorry.
it should be on the. So when you click on the capsule on the player, it should be on one of the components. It should be one of the first ones. So if you're all the way down, just scroll up and then on the inspector, and then you should be able to see it.
And then we turn it off, right?
No, we remove it. So remove it. Yeah. So on mine, it's a gear. On yours, I think it's a dot. I think.
Yeah.
Or is it still gear? And just click on remove component.
Oh, like just none?
What?
Like
No,
mine
no.
says mesh filter and then it said capsule. But then when you click the dot thing, it says none cubed capsule cylinder
Oh
plane.
no. You're selecting a different mesh. No, not that option. It's on the top right. Can you share your screen so I know what icon I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Oh wait, so for mesh render, you also remove the component?
Yeah, it's okay. So it's the triple dots. Yeah. Yes, I was right. Yeah. So yeah, it's mesh render. So remove. So click on the triple dots, and then it says remove component. Do you see it?
Oh, okay. The mesh
Yeah.
render, the capsule mesh filter.
Yeah, capsule mesh filter. So everything has to do with mesh. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like mine is a different. It says something different. Yeah. So remove both components. Yeah.
Okay.
So remove both things that say mesh. Okay. All right.
These pop-ups keep fucking. These pop-ups just like keep showing up for some reason because I'm still presenting.
Or you can stop presenting. Okay. So once we have that, we're going to move on to the camera. So with the camera, click on your camera on the left-hand side on the inspector. Just highlight
my
it.
camera. Oh, there it is.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag your camera into your player. So grab your camera, click and drag it, and then move your mouse still on the left-hand side, still on the hierarchy, and just drag it into player. Okay. When you drag it into the player, there should now be an indentation, and then player has an arrow next to it. So now the camera becomes a child of the player.
I don't. How is it supposed to be?
You just click and drag into the player. So this is how it looks like. Take a look at my screen.
Drag into player.
Yeah, so click your main camera and drag it into player. Okay, we're doing this on the hierarchy. We're not doing this on the scene.
Okay. Is your arm supposed to be shown in the camera view?
I'm sorry?
Is the arm supposed to be shown in the camera preview?
No, not yet because we have to position our camera correctly. Okay. Also, bring your cube inside your player. So just click and drag your cube inside your player, and now your player should have two things inside. It should have main camera and then the cube you made. That's for the shooting thing. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is click on your camera on the left-hand side again, and we're gonna reposition this camera. So on the position on the right on the inspector, on the position, we're gonna do X is 0, Y is 0, and Z is 0. Okay. Once you have that, I'm sorry.
So position is Z. Wait, that's plain. Okay, position 0, 0. Y position 0. Z position 0.
Yeah. So your camera should look something like this, like mine, where it has a camera preview and it has like the arm sticking out. That's fine.
No, mine doesn't.
What I would like you to do is just drag the camera up just a bit to kind of have the arm kind of like this. Like imagine the arm is kind of sticking out from the camera.
Is mine okay? Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Like, is this okay?
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you put it on the left hand?
Left hand?
Yeah. Looks like he's
Oh,
left-handed.
I think I put it in the right hand. Put it.
I mean, that's fine. Whichever one is fine. As long as it makes... Oh, actually, you know what? Click on your player, and you'll see if it's right. Oh, yeah, he is left-handed.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So you can change that by moving your cube.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now that we have this, let's click on our camera, and we're going to add a component to our camera. So we're going to click on Add Component, and we're going to add FPS script.
FPS.
FPS, yeah.
Oh, FPS.
Do we not add FPS to the player?
Sorry?
Do we not add FPS to the player?
No, FPS is only for the camera. I'll
Okay.
explain in a bit why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the last thing you need to do before we can start running the game is this cube has to be inside the camera, because now the camera is able to rotate. So now wherever the camera rotates, that's where your kind of like your projectile weapon is going to face. So
Wait,
now
so you can't,
I'm
sorry, you can't have like the cubes and the main camera as childs of the player?
No, the main camera has to be child of the player, and then the cube has to be child of the main camera.
Okay.
So it's now like kind of stacking. One is inside the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So take a look at my screen and then see how the hierarchy looks like. You have player, main camera, and then cube.
Yep.
Okay. Once you have that, press play. Okay, and then you're able to move, and then with your camera, you can look up, you can look down, and you can move around and jump. Okay.
Oh. Am I moving? I don't think I'm moving.
If you jump, you'll be able to see if you're moving.
I'm not jumping.
Okay.
Oh, it says missing component section. There is no character attached to the player game object, but a script is trying to act.
Okay, so add the character controller. It looks like you forgot the character controller. So click on your player, and then add component and add a character controller.
Okay, now it's moving. Really?
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm falling.
Okay, does it work for everyone else? Is everyone else okay?
I'm all good.
Mine is going
Yeah, I'm good.
crazy again.
Sorry, say that one more time, Edward.
Mine is going crazy again.
Make sure you freeze your rotation. So on your rigid body,
okay. Yeah.
freeze your XYZ rotation, not position. Does it work now?
It works, but I can't turn my character.
Do you want me to take a look at your game?
Okay.
I'm moving really slow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can change the options on the
I can't
player.
share my screen.
I'm sorry.
I can't share my screen.
It still it doesn't allow you.
No.
I think there's something wrong with mine.
Just can you go out of the Google Meet and then come back in? It usually that usually helps. Yeah. So if you guys need to change some settings, so take a look at the player. When you click on player, it says the player movement FPS. You have speed, jump speed, and gravity. You can change those numbers around, and the game is going to change, or the character is going to change.
Does
Okay.
the shooter thingy is not moving with the camera.
Yeah, just make
I
sure the
mean,
cube.
it is, but then the rotation is not doing.
Okay. Oh, one moment. Ben. Okay. Can you grab your cube on the left-hand side on our hierarchy? Click on your hierarchy. Yeah, the cube. Put it
Cube?
inside the main camera. Click and drag it into the camera. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
put it
Now
inside
press play.
the camera.
Now press play.
I'm not presenting, am I?
I don't think so. Now you're able to move. Yeah. And
I
then
can
move your
move.
mouse.
Not rotate.
Move your mouse.
Now I can do it.
I can't move my mouse.
Oh, you can't?
I am, but like it's not doing anything.
Okay. Press escape. Okay. Click on your main camera. Maybe you put the wrong script. Yeah, your camera doesn't have the script. Click on add component. And then FPS.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now press play.
Oh my god.
There we go. Fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay. What about you, Ben? Does it work?
Yeah, it works. It works.
Okay. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay. So now we have basic control. That's perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're now going to start experimenting with shooting. So what I would like you guys to do is create a bullet, projectile. So this projectile can be anything you want. Click on game object, 3D object, and then you can choose anything that's above the plane. There can be a cylinder, capsule, a sphere, or cube. I'm just gonna choose the sphere because it's the easiest.
What's a quad?
Don't choose quad or plane. Quad and plane don't have width, so it's really hard to see if you shoot it. But the other objects do have width.
It's like
they're real.
It's like a paintball or something.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So here I chose a sphere, and of course I don't want to shoot this giant thing, so I'm gonna scale it down. So I'm gonna press I press R to scale. I'm just gonna press some little white box to make it smaller. So this is what I want to shoot. Okay, this is what I want to come out from this barrel thing.
It's gonna be huge.
I'm sorry.
Or it's gonna be huge. Really big.
But again, it's up to you what you want your projectile to be. Okay. Of course, I want to color this projectile. So I'm going to click on down here, right click, create material.
Too small.
And then the material, I'm just going to call it ball. And I'm going to color this. I'm going to make it like a yellow color, like that. Okay. So add a color, and then once you add a color, make sure you add a rigid body. So add component, rigid body to the ball.
Add component. Okay, I'll do that. Minute.
Okay. And also try to rename this. It's called sphere. So call it. I'm just gonna call it projectile. Okay. So just call it whatever you want. I called it projectile. Okay. And now the next part is really important. Make sure you're paying attention to this. The next part, what you need to do is on your projectile on the left-hand side on your hierarchy, you need to do this. You need to click and drag it down here to your folder. Okay. You have to do this. Okay. Once you do this, now you get a small. This is called a prefab. Okay. So a prefab basically has all the properties of this object, and then you're able to spawn these objects. Okay. So you have to do this. Do not grab it from here. Once you drag it down here, delete this object, Okay, and this projectile will still be there. Okay.
So you drag it from the where? You drag it from
You drag it from the hierarchy, so where the player plane and directional light is.
Oh,
Click
okay.
and drag it down here to the folder, to the project folder.
Okay, I did it. Now delete this.
Now delete the one that's in your scene.
Oh shoot.
Okay, because what's gonna happen is we need a place to grab that clone or grab that object and then start cloning that object. In this
So
case, it's gonna
whatever
be down
key
here.
press that thing up here. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot to add Rigidbody.
Okay, you can just click on this on your projectile and just add the component there. Okay, so once we're done with this, let's add one more thing. So on your player, click on your cube. Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna right click on the cube and then click on create empty. Okay, this empty is gonna be our barrel. So basically where our bullet is gonna come from, our gun end. So once you have this, just press W if you don't have the tool enabled. And then you should see these three arrows, and just click on the blue arrow and just make it be like in the edge where the bullet would come out from. So somewhere around here. Okay. If you're not able to see it, then what you can do is right next to the name, there's a white box, there's a white cube. Click on that cube, and then select any kind of icon, and then like a big thing will appear, and then it'll tell you exactly where it is. It's called a billboard or an icon. And of course, rename this and then call it barrel. Okay, so this is basically where the ball is going to come out from.
Okay, what do we do to the object?
What object?
How did you make that orange box thing?
Oh, to make that orange box, again, what you're gonna see is this. So next to the name up here on the inspector on the top right, next to the check mark, there's a white box. Click on that white box, and then you can select whichever color you want, and then that appears.
Oh.
Do we need to have that?
You don't need to have that. It's just so you can see where it is. Because let's just say you're like working on the project, and you're like, oh, where is it? And instead of like going through everything and saying, here you go, you just have an icon, and then you can just select the icon.
Is the barrel supposed to be invisible?
Yeah, the barrel is supposed to be invisible.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have all the components, and now we're ready to write our script. So let's click on our player. Okay, right below the Rigidbody or right below the last object, add component. Click on add component, and we're going to make our new script. So our new script is just going to be called shooting. Okay, and then it's going to tell you new script. So just click on new script. Okay, and then just keep the name and just click on create and add. Once you do that, the C# script will appear. It says shooting. So just double click on this the C# script, and then Visual Studio will pop up. Okay.
Wait, do we name the script shooting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then once you double click it, you should get Visual Studio 2 open, or if you're on Mac, you should get Mono Develop open.
Wait, it's not showing up in my. Can I just drag it to assets if it doesn't show up?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
My trial license will expire in 10 days.
Yeah, remember you need to sign in with the live account. So make sure you make a Microsoft account.
Wait,
they're free.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
No, wait. I added the shooting script, but it's not showing up in the assets.
It's not.
Yeah. Here, I'll share.
Yeah, can you share?
Yep.
How do I open accounts?
Here we go. I have the shooting right here, and then it's not popping up here. Should I just click on this or?
Wait, what the?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. The reason why it's not it's there, but you're on the wrong folder. You see how the folder says assets and then scenes? Yeah, click on assets.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how do I make it in Microsoft account?
You can do it after class, buddy. You can just go
Right.
to just make like a hot. I don't know. It's not Hotmail anymore. I have a Hotmail. I think it's Outlook. So you can just make it like an Outlook account, and you can use that as a Microsoft account.
Outlook? I don't know what you're talking about.
You can do it later, buddy. It's later.
But then how? Where do I make it?
Okay, here. With the Outlook. Here, see Outlook. And see free personal email and calendar from Microsoft. Just click on that and just make your Outlook account. And then there, and you sign in with that account on Visual Studio, and you should have it activated.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you up here too. Well, mine doesn't, but anyways. Okay, so everyone's here. So let's get started with the programming. So with the programming, what we're gonna do is we need three things. We need to specify what we're shooting, where we're shooting it from, and how fast it's gonna go. Oh, four things. And then how frequent are we shooting? The frequency of our shooting. So here we're going to define our public variables because we want to change these variables in our inspector. So just like here, where you can change, if you go to player, you can change your player movement. You can change how fast you're going, so you can change the speed, jump speed, and gravity. So those are called public variables that you can change it. Those are variables that you can change on the inspector. For public. Then we need to specify a data type. So we mainly deal with floats. Those are decimal numbers. Integers are usually just for iterating or just keeping track of just a single number. But most of the time we're dealing with floats because we just want like a decimal number. So we can say float, public float, and the first one is going to be called frequency. And then the frequency I'm going to put is 0.5f. Okay. So 0.5f is going to be every 0.5, so every half a second it's going to shoot. The reason why I put f is because we typecast it. Normally 0.5 is a double, and since we're not doing doubles, we're doing floats. We type in f at the end, and it typecasts it, so it changes it into a float. It converts it into a float. Okay. Next, we're going to need a game object, and then the game object is going to be the projectile we're going to spawn. Now notice how this one has a default equals something, and then this one does not have a default. Reason why, because with game object, you can't really pick a default because you have to click and drag, unless you want to go through the files, which is going to be very messy. So we're not going to have a default for this. We're just going to declare it. Then we're going to say public transform, and it's going to be the barrel. Okay, same thing here. We don't want to go look for it. We're just saying that it's going to be there. And then finally, we have public float frequency, and then projectile speed, how fast the projectile is going. And then this one is going to be, I'm just going to put 60. You can change the number later. Okay. So make sure.
Wait, you don't have to specify f for 60?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question for this one because this is an integer, and then so it's very confusing. So this is an integer, and then with floats, floats easily convert integers without you specifying it. Okay. But with the doubles, they do. So if I put 60.0, then I have to put an f. If I don't, then you can just put 0. No f. But you can do this also like that. It's a little confusing, but once you get to the hang of programming with floats, integers, you'll see that you know who can play with what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should have put the f with the 60, right?
Yeah, you can put it without the f. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's 60 and the 60f or 60.0. Same thing. It's just one less key for me. Okay, so now that's that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the update function. We don't care about the start because we don't want to initialize anything yet. So we're going to go to the update, and then the update function runs every frame. So every time the game is running, this is going to run once every frame. And here's where we want to check: did we press a certain button? Because we can only shoot when a certain condition is met. Basically, when our frequency is met and our key press is met. Okay. So here, we're going to first keep track of time. So we're going to say if, oh, sorry, we forgot one variable. Up here, we forgot one private variable. I'm going to say private float, and we're going to call it C time. C time is short for current time. So what's our current time? And that's going to keep track of, how much time has passed by. Okay. So now inside the update function, we're going to say if C time is greater than frequency. So that means now C time has passed the frequency timer. So that means we're able to shoot. Now we need to check for something else. You're going to say if input.get mouse button down. I'm doing mouse to shoot. If you guys want to do what's it called, any type of key, this is what you need to do. If input get key.
Wait, what are you doing?
Key code, and then let's just say you want to shoot with spacebar, and this is how you do it. You don't have to write this line. This is just for reference if you want to do key press. But here we're just doing mouse.
Yeah.
Here we're just doing mouse. So the mouse, we say get mouse button, and get mouse button gives us we have normal mouses have 3 options. It's 0, 1, and 2. 0 is the left click, 1 is right click, and 2 is mouse wheel press. So in the mouse wheel has a button, so you can put it to whatever button you want. I'm just going to put it to 0 because that's going to be my default button. Okay. And I put curly braces.
Out of it.
Sorry?
No, I can't catch up.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to catch up to you, but I'm still behind.
Who told you? Who told you? Oh, Urvi told you.
Yeah, we ready to move on?
No.
No.
I'm good.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So for the bullet, why does it have to be a prefab and not the normal object?
The reason why is imagine the scenario where you have your bullet, right? When you shoot that bullet, if you're using that bullet that's on the hierarchy, the one that's already there, that bullet goes traveling, and then let's just say you shoot another, so then that bullet gets dragged back to your gun and then gets shot again. So let's just say now if you have something with very high frequency, let's just say like every 0.05 seconds, like maybe like a submachine gun, you start shooting, and then that thing keeps dragging back and back and back. So your bullet never goes out. So what you want to do is you want to create a clone, and then that clone you send it off, and then you add another one, and so on and so forth. You kind of get it?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need the brackets at the bottom? Because for me, I'm using, I think, text edit on Mac, and it's not really showing the brackets. So is that
the curly braces? Yes, you do need
yeah.
them. Those are important. Yeah, you do need them.
Also, how do you delete a prefab from the screen? Because I accidentally added one, and I can't take it out.
Just right click and delete. So let's just say I want to delete this project. I'm gonna drag this up before losing it. Let's just say you want to delete it. So just right click and delete, and then just as do you want to do it, this action cannot be undone. Just delete, and then the prefab gets deleted.
Wait, but so where does it go then?
What do you mean? Where does it go? It gets deleted.
How do you bring it back in to the?
Oh, I mean, just if you have the object there ready, let's just say you drag the wrong one, just delete the one that you put down here and just drag the right one. Put it in there and it creates the prefab.
Because I deleted it from the hierarchy and then I dragged it and then it's actually just a cylinder and then I added a color to it. Is that not right?
That sounds right. Can I see your screen? Or are you still sharing? No.
No, I'll share it really quick. That should be yeah, okay. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay,
Wait,
let me see.
okay. So it looks like this.
Okay. So what is the bullet is that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. And you change the color and you want to change that. Okay. So to apply those changes, click on your bullet on the left-hand side on the hierarchy. No, on your hierarchy. Yeah. Okay. On top, there's an option. It says prefab. It says open, select, and override. Click on override. Overrides. And then click on apply all. Yeah. So you see now your bullet is red.
Delete this from here.
Yeah, you can delete it from there now.
Okay.
Yep.
And oh, so if I drag this like that.
No. Why are you deleting it?
Oh, that's not how it works. Okay.
No, I mean, why are you deleting it?
No, like the thing in here.
You can drag multiples of them.
Wait, what? Like, how do you delete a prefab that you put on the screen?
Oh, just right click and delete it on the left hand side on the hierarchy.
Wait, so this
on
bullet
the
should
first
stay
side,
here
yeah.
then?
Yeah, just right click and delete. Yeah, that's how you delete them.
Okay, and then if I pull one in here like that, then how do I get rid of this one?
Yeah, just right click and delete it again.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get rid of the main copy. It's on your assets folder. And then whatever you have in your scene, it's volatile. It can go away.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready to move on with the code?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, so here again, we met our condition with our time, and then we press the button. Once we press the button, and now we can instantiate our object. We can create our object. So we're gonna save this in a variable. We're gonna this variable has to be a game object because we are creating a game object, and I'm gonna call this game object clone. Okay. And this is a special command to create the object. We're gonna say instantiate. Okay. And an instantiate requires three things. The one we're using requires three things: what we're shooting, where is it shooting from, and then where is it facing. So here we know we're creating a projectile. And where is it going to be? It's going to be barrel, position. And where is it facing? It's going to be barrel dot rotation. And then semicolon at the end.
Just a minute. Barrel dot rotation.
Okay. So once you have that, the next thing we want to do is we want to add force to this projectile, because the projectile just pops it into reality, and then it's like, okay, now what should I do? So now the rigid body will start taking over, and it's just going to slowly drop it. But we don't want it to slowly drop. We want it to go with force to its destination. So here we're going to say clone.getComponent. And we're going to look for rigid body. Okay. So get component in the rigid body. Oops. And we're going to add force. And the force where we're adding is where the barrel is looking at. So wherever the barrel is forward, so let's just say if the barrel is looking up and that's its forward, that's where the barrel's force will go. So here we're going to say barrel.forward times, what's the name of the variable? It's called projectile speed. So projectile speed. Okay. Projectile speed and then comma, and then we have to add a force mode, or else our bullet is just going to go really slow. We'll say force
I'm
mode.
trying.
Dot
Oh my god, stop.
Stop what?
No, it's like, just keep showing like things.
Your IDE should be able to autocomplete. That's why I type fairly fast. I just let the IDE autocomplete for me, and it does its job. Makes my life easier.
But then it doesn't do the autocomplete for me.
It doesn't do it for you?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta take a look at that.
Oh, you have to link it, right, to like Unity or whatever?
Yeah. Does yours not do it too? For sure.
Oh no, mine is good. Mine's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine's okay. I thought you were asking me.
Is it supposed to autocomplete on Mac or
Yeah, I mean, do you have Visual Studio?
nope? I
Oh no,
think
then.
yeah.
It's Microsoft.
Is yours called Mono Develop?
Text edit.
Oh no.
Yeah.
With Mac, you kind of screwed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, with this, you have to be very careful with capitalization because capitalization does matter.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
make
No,
sure
I've been capitalizing everything so far. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping this thing works out in the end.
Yeah. So what? Whenever when you save the code and go back to Unity, it's gonna compile. If you have an error, let's say you wrote something wrong on the bottom left corner, if it displays red text, it's most likely a compiler error. You probably wrote something wrong.
Gotcha.
So just double click it, and then it'll tell you exactly where. Hopefully, it would open to the right line. If not, then it should tell you like line 51. That's an error, or line 20, something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so
All
what
right.
do
So
they-
after
what
we
is-
add force, the last thing we need to do is destroy the object. So after a certain amount of time, we don't care about the clone anymore, and we don't want it to keep eating our RAM, our memory. So we're just going to destroy it. So we're going to say destroy. We're going to destroy the clone after, I should say, 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, we don't care about it, and then just let it go. It's over.
Seconds and it's gone.
Okay.
Is there like a thing where we can have it destroy when it hits something too?
Yes, that's on the bullet though. We're gonna do that after.
Wait, so what is this for then? This is for
Just so let's just say you're at the edge of the world, and there's no walls protecting you from the edge of the world, and you're just shooting in in the air, and you don't want that bullet to fall indefinitely in your computer, like doing all that calculation. You just want it to go away. But yeah, we can do the on contact destroy.
Is that what this whole like these 3 lines of code is just for when it's going too far?
No, when it's going too far, it's just the last one. It's
Okay, so
destroy after 6 seconds.
What's 4 and 25 then?
Sorry?
What's 24 and 25 supposed to like exactly do?
Oh, okay. So 24 creates the object. So it creates a clone of this projectile. So remember the little bullet you made? So it's going to create a clone of it. So now it just pops into the world, and it's there. It's doing nothing now. And then what we do is we grab the rigid body component, and we're going to say we're going to add a force wherever the barrel is looking at, and that's where it's going to shoot. It's going to go shooting.
Okay.
So it's just going to pop and then shoot. So it's and that's basically what it's doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So once you have this, press Control S to save, or click File Save, whichever one's easier for you. And then go back to Unity. Right. When you go back to Unity, it should compile. For you, I don't know if for you it will load a little bit, but for mine it was pretty quick. So if you click on your player and scroll down on the shooting, now on the shooting, you now have some components that say none. You see where it says projectile and barrel, they have none. So we need to specify what we're shooting and where we're shooting it from. Okay. So our projectile, of course, so you should have the projectile deleted by now. If you don't, please delete it. And then in your player, now it's telling you where the projectile and where the barrel is. So projectile, we know it's here. So we're going to click it from your assets folder, and we're going to put it where it says projectile.
What are you doing?
Okay, so all we're doing is
from the barrel?
Yeah, all we're doing is dragging our projectile from the folder down here into the projectile on our shooting. And then the barrel, it's going to be under the player. So when you click and drag our barrel, and we're going to put it inside our barrel here.
I don't know what you mean.
Any variables in my component.
So what do we do with the code again? So we just put it inside barrel or sphere? Which one?
Okay. If your script does not load any variables, that means you typed something wrong. Double check down here. It's going to tell you like a red text. It's going to say error in here. So just double check your syntax.
It doesn't say that.
If yours does have, it says none and none on projectile and barrel, just click and drag the correct stuff into the correct locations.
Drag?
All right. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't get it.
Can you share your screen? I can help you out. So now when you press play, now you press the button. Oh, sorry. Not press the button. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, whoops. We forgot something on the code. Damn it.
Mine says C time does not exist in the current context.
You probably didn't create C time. Go back to your code and then make a private float C time right underneath projectile speed.
If half of mine say like error CS1002 expected, what does that mean?
I think that's a semicolon. You forgot a semicolon or a curly brace somewhere.
All
yeah,
right.
it's either a semicolon or a curly brace. I don't remember what's that one.
Gotcha.
Right. Wait, can I see the script again?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. One moment. Ben, hold on.
Okay. Private float.
Okay. You see it now, right?
Yeah. And,
okay. All right, Ben. I can see your stuff. So click on your player, Ben.
Player.
Okay. Scroll down. Okay. You see there it says projectile none and then barrel none.
No.
It's on your shooting script. Yeah. So they're both none. So you need to specify your projectile. So click and drag your sphere from the left. Your sphere. Yeah. Click and drag it into projectile. Yeah. And on your barrel, click and drag your barrel on your transform. Yeah.
Where's my barrel?
Right there. You were just on it. Underneath player. It's gonna be on your hierarchy, not on your project folder. Yeah, right there. Right there. You passed it. Barrel. Yeah, click and drag it into barrel. There you go. Okay. And that's it.
What do we press to let you?
If you press play, it's not gonna work. I forgot a piece of the code.
Sorry.
Okay. And then someone had error. What was that, Gavin?
Yeah, I have like 8 errors. Do you think you could?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh boy, Mac. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen.
Sure.
Yep. Here we go. There we go. All right. So I guess we'll do this one by one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really give me any like special colors or anything, so I sort of just put it in and hope it works, but...
Okay, so first, the P's and public and private are lowercase.
Okay.
And all of that is lowercase.
All right. And then...
public, private float, C time. Okay, that's just spelling if C time frequency. Rigid body, I think is the B capital? No, yeah, the B is not capital.
Oh, the B is not capital. All right.
Lowercase B, yeah.
Okay.
Force mode, impulse, phone, yeah. Save it, Control S.
Yep.
Okay, go back to Unity. Okay, you're just missing one thing. Yeah, double click that. Line, what is it? Line 23.
2381.
Yeah, where's line 23? What?
Great question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, I see the problem.
Oh.
You forgot a period on the barrel rotation.
Oh,
Yeah,
so is that?
yeah.
All right.
Good choice.
And hopefully this should work. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Looks good. All right, looks good.
That works. Yep. Okay.
Fernando?
Thank you.
Yeah, what's up?
For the barrel and the empty, how do you actually see the box that it makes? Like, I don't know if it's in the right.
The script is not working right now because we didn't finish the code.
No, I know, like, in general, when you're looking at it, like, mine keeps just spinning my way so then I can read game object correctly, but I don't know if it's actually in the right spot.
Can you share your screen and show me what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Like, just this game object, when I try and rotate, it just keeps moving. So I can't really tell where it actually is.
Oh, I see. So if you press W, it tells you where it's pointing at. Yeah, if you move it around, this is called a billboard, and it's always going to be facing wherever you're looking at. So wherever you rotate, it's always going to face you.
Yeah, so
but
how do you know if it's in the right spot? Like, so where should it be?
it should be like in the edge. No, that's too close. Somewhere like at the edge, outside your like gun thing.
Like this way?
No, at the edge.
Which edge?
Like at the tip of the gun.
Like this, right?
No. Where I think is your bullet facing back or forward?
I don't know. I have no clue. How do you tell?
I mean, okay. Click on your player and see where he's facing at.
Like
okay,
he's facing this way.
Is he?
Yeah.
How do you know? Okay, yeah, he is. Okay, yeah, because the blue. No, it's wrong. You see where the blue arrow is?
Yeah.
That's where he's supposed to be facing.
Oh,
blue arrow is.
When I start playing it, I look backwards and then I just turn it around.
Really?
I mean, should I just play really quick?
Press play, yeah.
Like I'm looking backwards and then I just do this.
And can you go forward?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's working.
It's working, yeah, but the game object, I'm not sure if that's in the right spot.
Okay, no, the game object should be right in the tip of the gun. So just move it back.
Backwards? Oh,
no, you're not moving the game object. Yeah, back. No. Forward, I guess forward then.
Like this?
Yeah. Oh, you passed it. Like at the edge of the cube. Yeah, right there. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's get back to our code. Let's go back to our code and then finish our code because I actually forgot a piece of the code, a main part of the code. So after a frequency, because our C time never goes high, it never goes up, because C time, if you see here, private float C time, it gets defined, and then here just saying if it's greater than frequency, but it never gets bigger. So here, after we do shoot, we're going to put C time back, so C time equals 0. Okay. So it has to, we're going to reset our current time, so C time equals 0. And then after that, after the if, so here we have if C time is greater than frequency, and the curly brace for that if statement, we're going to do else. Okay. And inside our else, we're going to do C time plus equal.
Wait, where?
Time dot delta time. It's going to be right after the curly brace on the if.
Wait. Doing else.
Okay. So here, what we're doing is, if the time is not reached yet, we're just going to add time dot delta time is just how much time has passed by from each frame. So we're going to add
a plus?
Yeah, it's a plus minus. A plus equal, sorry. You're going to add it to C time. So whatever C time was, add it to itself. This is just shorthand notation for adding stuff to yourself. instead of writing c time equals c time plus time dot double time, we just write plus equal. Basically means just add to yourself. And then here it goes back and it goes over and over again until this this is met. Then after that is met, then we can press the button and shoot. Okay, so save this, go back to Unity, and then press play. And now you should be able to shoot if you have everything put correctly. So now if you see, I'm able to shoot.
Wait, what button do we press?
I press the mouse.
What the?
Oh, me too. Why does it go up?
The reason why it's spawning up, or why is it like going in a weird tangent, it's because this is the next part we need to work on. It's your layer collision. So if you take a look at this, your ball has a physical boundary. It's a rigid body and a sphere collider, and then your arm has a box collider, and your player has a box collider and a capsule collider and a rigid body. So what you need to do is this barrel or this ball should ignore the player. So whenever it's launched, it should not collide with the player and just keep going and collide with everything else. So to fix this problem, let's click on the projectile down here. Here where it says layer, we're going to click on default and we're going to go down and we're going to add a layer.
Wait, for barrel or for speed?
For projectile.
There's no projectile in mine.
Or projectile, ball, sphere, whatever it's called on the bottom.
What?
On the project folder.
Oh, bullet?
Yeah, for the bullet.
And then.
Okay. So click on default, and then we're gonna add a layer. Okay. When you add a layer, these layers will pop up. So let's just add to the next available blank space. We're gonna call it player. Okay.
Wait, where is that? How do you get there?
Okay, so click on your projectile on your project folder,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to layer,
And then add layer.
and then add layer. Yeah.
Wait, so why do we do this? What was the
The reason why, because currently our projectile is bumping into our player, and when you shoot, it starts shooting upwards instead of going forward. So this is the fix for it, because when it's instantiating, it just gets jumped to the wrong position.
Also, my bullet, like, it's a cylinder, so how do I make it, like, sideways?
I'll help you out with that. Yours is because you chose capsule. That's the hardest one. I gotta help you out with that.
My projectile just freezes in place after I shoot.
It freezes in place.
Yeah.
Your projectile just stays in like midair.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like you didn't add the force. So I'll help you out with your script. But first, let's finish this. So make sure you click on your projectile and then click on player. Okay, assign it player. You have to assign it player. Okay, you add a layer, but it doesn't automatically add it for you. You have to click it again and then click on player. It should be mine is layer 8. I don't know what I think yours starts at layer 10. Maybe it's at 8. I don't remember. But just make sure it's on player. And then go back to the main player, the capsule. And then here, also change it to player. Okay. And then it's going to tell you, do you want to set the layer for all child objects as well? And just says yes. You want to set everything to player. Okay. Once you set both the player and the projectile to player layers, now we need to edit the matrix. So we're going to click on edit. And we're going to go to project settings. Okay. And inside project settings, we have our physics tab.
Wait, so where do we go for spear?
Bless you. We're going to click on, wait, what do you mean for sphere? What are we talking about?
No, for the bullet. So we press bullet and then...
And then on top right, we click on layer.
I don't see layer.
It should be on the inspector on the top right, next to the name.
I don't see anything. I don't see layer or anything.
Okay. And then all you have to do is uncheck player. So here, player versus player. Just uncheck it.
Is it
Once you
layers?
Yeah, it's just layer, not layers. Or is it layers on yours? Well, either way, you
No.
uncheck it, and that should fix your bullet problem.
No,
Let
what
me
do you
just go.
press?
Let
You
me go one
press.
by one. Yeah, and that fixes your problem here.
Huh?
Okay. Let's see your stuff. Let me see. Let me first help. Yeah. Let's see. No. Click on your sphere on the bottom. Okay. You see where it says layer? It's just layer default next to tag. No. You went up too low. Go up. Up. Right under the name, you see it says sphere. It says tag and then layer.
Where?
Right there in the middle. Yeah, you see it's tag and then layer. We're clicking on layer.
Yes.
Where's its default? I'm gonna add, and then just click on player now. Player. Good. And now click on the player. Okay. And now do the same thing. Change the layer. On the top. And then player. And then say yes. Change all the children. All right, and that's it. Okay. Make sure you have your cube in the right place. It looks like you have it in the weird place. Okay. Let's see. Edward, what's your problem again?
Oh, my bullets are just freezing in place.
Can
Yeah,
I
that's
see your
the same
script?
with mine too.
Okay, can I see your script? Or can you share your screen?
Yeah, that's what mine does too.
Hilarious. Okay, stop playing. Go to yours. Oh, you have a problem. It says right there, there is no rigid body attached to your bullet. So click on your bullet.
Yeah, Rigidbody.
Scroll
Yeah.
down.
See?
Wait, what are we looking at?
Well, this is both.
Wait, hold on. What are you? Go to your Unity. Wait, am I looking at someone else's presentation? Hold on. Oh, there you go. I was looking at PowerShare. That's weird. Okay. Let's see. You clicked on your bullet, right? And you don't have a rigid body. You see the add component and add rigid body. No. Go back. It's already. You misspelled rigid. RIGID. Yeah, first one. There you go. Okay, that's it.
Wait, how do you do that? What?
Oh, yeah. This way. There you go.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of bullets.
Yeah, because you have a very small frequency. So change your frequency.
Wait, so how do you do the rigid body thing? Did I?
Just click on your bullet and just add a rigid body. Yeah.
Wait, but mine's only in assets, so do I pull one in?
No. Just click on the assets and then just add it there. Just scroll down and just add a. Here, let me look at your screen.
Oh no, I got it. Okay, I see it now.
I got it. Rigid body. Yeah. Yep.
And the fire rate, frequency. Okay, let me try.
Yeah. Yeah, Edward. I think your fire rate is pretty high. Pretty low. Yeah. Pretty. Is it high? Low. I think it's low.
This number?
Yeah. Just make the number smaller. No, not there. Go back to Unity. Okay. Press on the little arrow on the left, all the way to the left. Yeah, right there. Okay. Click on your player. Okay. And then shooting 0.5. Oh, I think you forgot the last part of the code. So double click on shooting. Open up your shooting script. Sorry. Oh yeah, you forgot that part. So after destroy the clone. So after line 26, press enter. And we need to reset C time. So C time equals 0. Yeah, and that's it. Save. Go back. Now it should fix itself.
Fernando.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. For me, it says I should probably assign the barrel variable of the shooting script in the inspector. What should
Yeah, you just have to click and drag your thing. Parashar, is it yours stuff working?
Yeah, mine's working.
Okay.
Mine's working.
Can you share your screen, Gavin?
Yeah. Here we go. This is what it says.
Okay. Stop playing.
Yep.
Okay. Click on your player.
Uh-huh.
Okay. On the right-hand side, scroll down, and you see it says projectile none, barrel none. So you haven't specified what your barrel or projectile is.
Okay.
So just click it. Yeah. Click and drag that into projectile. Perfect. And then your barrel. No. Your barrel is not there. No. Your barrel is from your hierarchy.
Yeah. Oh, from the hierarchy. Okay.
Boom. There.
Okay.
That should work.
Yeah.
Now press play.
Let me just test it out. Oh, nice. Cool.
All
right. Thank you.
Awesome.
And make the bullet go slower when it exits.
Yeah. If you want to make the bullet slower, let's see. Oh, did I do something? I think I clicked something. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to make your bullets slower, just remember you just have to change the settings here. So click on your player, and then all the way in the bottom it says shooting, and then it says projectile speed. So that's how fast your bullet is going. So we have it at 60. You can change it like 40, 20, 30, and it's gonna go slower. If you want it faster, you put a bigger number. And then frequency.
Just clip through the plane and disappear.
Yeah, that's our next one. To fix that, there's another problem where the problem is the projectiles are some of them are ignoring the physicals, the physical stuff that's around the physical colliders. So to fix that problem, click on the projectile at the bottom, at the project folder, and then in there's the rigid body. It says collision detection and it says discrete. So just change discrete to continuous and dynamic. Continuous dynamic.
Dynamic.
Yeah, and just press play, and now it's better. Now your bullets shouldn't go through the.
Why isn't this the default setting for every?
The reason why it's default because with physics, usually it's a bad idea if you want to calculate every single frame for something. Usually, shooting you do want to calculate every single frame because that's kind of essential. But other things like like a crate falling or something else doing something else, usually you don't want to do it every frame because it's expensive. Your CPU is just gonna work so much, and your GPU also. So you kind of have to cheat.
In order to
sorry.
No, you finish.
Okay, that's why some of the games you see that the animation is kind of not it's not realistic. It's kind of like scripted, where it's not animated. Everything is animated. It's not with rigid bodies. The only things that do use rigid bodies in the games now are not even shooting. Shooting is you're shooting projectiles, like very slow projectiles, and yeah, they're using rigid bodies. Other than that, they're using ray casting, which we're going to look at. And also, what's the other one? Ragdolls. Ragdolls are the other big ones that use rigid bodies. What were you saying, Kevin?
Oh yeah. So in order to make it shoot faster, do we just up the frequency on the player?
You would lower the frequency. So
lower it. Okay.
Yeah. So the less frequency, the smaller the number, the faster it'll shoot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, can we add crosshairs or no?
That's another thing we're gonna do. So with crosshairs, you can look one up online. So let me I'll help you guys out with this. So go to Google and look for crosshair. Crosshair PNG, I guess. Yeah, crosshair PNG. and go to images, and then from there you can select any crosshair you like. Just make sure you can download the PNG file. Like I downloaded this one. This one's free. It says free download. So I'm gonna download it, and it's there. All I'm gonna do is click and drag it into Unity. Yeah. Once you download it, then you can just click and drag it outside, and it becomes your crosshair.
It just automatically. You don't have to mess with the camera or anything.
Actually, I lied. Because we're in 3D, this acts like a what is it called? A texture. So you need to change that setting. So click on your when you drag it in, click on your picture, and then change it from default to sprite. Right. Once that's converted, just press apply, and now you can just click and drag it into your scene. Oops. Click and drag it into your scene, and it becomes a what's it called? A sprite. So now you can move it around. And what you want to do is you want to put it right in the middle of your, or right on your barrel, like in front of your barrel. So click and drag it into your barrel, and then zero it out, 0, 0, 0, and then push it out, and then of course make it smaller, something like that. And when you press play, you now have a crosshair with your thing.
Wait, so I downloaded. I don't know if I downloaded a good one, but it said free download, I guess. But how do you make it a sprite?
Okay, so you drag it into your project folder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just click and drag it into your project folder, and then up on the inspector, it says texture type, and it's going to say default. So change it from default to Sprite 2D UI.
Okay, and then I just drag it in.
After you do that, press apply. You need to change it.
Wait, what the heck? And then apply. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure you press apply.
Okay, cool. That works. Yeah.
It works?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Has to go into the barrel, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
just put it inside the barrel, and then just put 0, 0, 0, and then all you have to do is with the Z, you need to pull it out just a bit so the crosshair can be out there.
For me, it says only textures of width height be multiple of 4 can be compressed. Does that just mean I need a new download?
You just need a better picture.
Okay.
Whatever you downloaded wasn't good.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's okay. So while I'm shooting, I can jump on my bullets.
Yeah, because they have physical properties, so yes, you can.
Wait, but aren't they supposed to not collide with the capsule?
Actually, you have a good point. I think you didn't change. Let me see yours. Can you share your screen? I want to see your. Let me see. Yeah, let me see your stuff.
So I basically have a rocket.
That's interesting. Let's see. Can you stop playing? I want to see the properties of your player. Okay, so can you go back? Click on the arrow, yeah, and then click on your player. So they're both there. Okay, can you go to edit, and then project, and then project settings, and go to physics. Scroll down. Yeah, so you don't have it unchecked. You see player and player on the matrix. Player and then player. Yeah, there you go. Now they're the same.
Okay.
And then when you press play, now they don't collide.
My bullets, sometimes it looks like it's shooting from like above me.
Yeah, that's a smaller problem. I'm trying to. I was having that issue too. I'm gonna fix it.
Now the bullets don't collide with one another.
Yeah, the bullets don't collide with one another, and then they don't collide with you. You want them to collide with one another?
I want it to collide with one another.
Okay, so let's create a new layer. So stop playing. So click on your bullet.
Player.
Click on your bullet on the bottom. And then add a layer. And then call it player bullet.
Oh, so every time I want to have like the collision group, I can just make a new.
Yeah, and you have to specify the rule. You have to specify the rules. Like this cannot collide with this, but it can collide with this. So yeah, just make sure you change the layer. Yeah, go to bullet. Now edit. And then the player can't hit player, and the bullet can't hit player. So where's that?
Bullet, check player bullet.
It's right next to it. Where is this player? Yeah, player and bullet cannot hit each other. Yeah.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Sorry.
Now the bullets should hit each other.
Yeah, they do.
They're hitting each other?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they're not hitting you.
Nope.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. What was the thing we were gonna do? I totally forget. Blanked out.
I think it was the bullets thing. Like
Bullets
it
are
shoots from
above the
or, like,
gun.
below.
Oh, bullet
Yeah.
above the gun. Okay. Yeah, because that's a pretty little thing that's going on. That is very interesting. Actually, this hasn't happened to me. Why is it doing this?
Wait, what? So what are we doing now?
I'm trying to fix something. Give me one moment. That's weird. The balls keep going down for some reason. Does it have to do something with my movement? Let me move the stuff. Oh, it is a problem. It looks like my player movement is the. My script is no good. Yep.
Wait, could it be that the barrel is too big or something? Too?
No, it's the player movement. My player movement is not good. Oh no. Oh, it's a
Wait, it's a
crappy
player
programming.
movement?
Yeah, it's my player movement. That's what I get for programming my own stuff. Yeah, so if you disable player movement and then if you disable player movement, then you're everything just falls off. Yeah.
What?
It's something to do with my player movement.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll fix that next time.
Is it possible to add this to the terrains thing we did yesterday?
Oh yeah, you can totally do that.
So how would I do that? Do I?
You just literally just copy the scripts.
Oh,
Yeah,
you could.
Just copy the scripts and just make sure everything's at the same. Yeah. See, now everything is flying off of the same thing. Yeah. For some reason, my player movement has because I remade this part and this part is probably where I messed up. I probably grabbed something incorrectly because it starts to slowly go down instead of being at the correct position. So I'll fix this problem next time later. Yeah.
Wait, but isn't it supposed to go down anyways because of gravity or whatever?
It's not supposed to go down because your barrel is not supposed to go down. It's like your gun. Like if you have your gun, your gun's not going to slowly go down on you. Your gun stays in the same position. So that's the problem. So I'll take a look at what's going on. But for now, you can just disable it, and I guess you could just rotate around in the game. What you can do in the scene also is create what is it called? Little objects so you can shoot at. So you can create cubes. So you can create 3D cubes, and you can make like a pyramid. Like this, and just make sure you add rigid bodies to all of them. And just press play, and then you can shoot at them. And they're interactive, like pew, pew. Right? My cluster is a little bit off, but yeah, you can play around with that. The other one, the other technique I was going to show you guys is called what is it called? It's ray casting. So let me show it. Let me show it to you guys really quickly since we're running out of time. Yeah. So here's my other scene I was working on before the class started. So what's going on here is let's take a look at the shooting script. And it's basically the same thing. Here we have you guys can see my screen yet? Yeah. Okay. So if you guys see here, we have the same thing. We have the frequency, how fast the bullet's gonna go. And this one we do have range because we are doing something called ray casting, and then we have a line render. You don't have to have a line render. It just looks pretty. It looks cool, like a little pew pew laser gun. And then we have a C time, which is a current time. And then we do the same thing, exactly the same thing. We check for the frequency, and then if we press the button, and then here, this is the new one. The new one is this one. Actually, let me roll back some of the changes I did before. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on here is we have we create a physics raycast, or we create a hit, sorry, and this hit is going to store information once it intersects an object. So let's just say there's a cube there, and this line is it's drawn. So when this line is drawn, it intersects this cube, and it grabs that information of the cube it just hit. So it grabs information of only one thing that it hit. If you want multiple objects, then you can raycast a list of stuff. But in this case, we're only raycasting the first thing it hits. Where is it raycasting from? The barrel's position. So wherever the barrel is, barrel's forward. So it's raycasting forward. And then all the information is being stored in hit. Okay, raycast hit.
Well,
And
something
then
happened to my map.
in your map.
Yeah, look at
Okay.
it.
Let me finish explaining this, and I'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay.
And then here, range is how far do you want the raycast to be? In this case, my raycast is going 100, so it's going 100 units. Okay. So here it's already in an if statement. So if it hits something, then it's going to do something. Okay. It's going to do this. If it doesn't, then it's going to move on with the code. Okay. So it did hit something. So what happens here is you're not the only thing you can do is add a force to the rigid body, whatever you hit. If the thing does have a rigid body, so here it says that hit that rigid body is not equal to null, so it's not an empty. So that object does have a rigid body. So if it does have a rigid body, you want to add a force on the negative hit. So basically, wherever you hit, it's the negative location of where that ray came from, and then you're going to add force to that object to where it's negative normal. You multiply by hit force, so how far you want that thing to travel, and of course you add a force mode, and then that makes it go flying off. On this one, I added a new thing. It's called I added a kind of like a gun decal where where you shoot, you see like the little hole that you make when you shoot. You don't have to do this. It depends on what kind of weapon you're doing, but I was just testing around some decals. And then I destroyed the decal after 6 seconds. So again, it's basically the same thing, but instead of instantiating an actual game object, here we're using physics raycast. Now, one thing about this is that with the raycast, it's way more accurate when you start shooting things. So, for example, like if you guys play like CS:GO or other those games, what's that other big one? Siege. Those games use raycast a lot, and they actually perfected how to detect these kind of things. So a lot of games use raycast. Older games use the instantiate method, where they have the actual like bullet traveling, and if that bullet hits you, then you're shot. But other new games now use raycast. Raycast, it's faster to detect things, but the downside is graphics. How are you going to display with graphics? So with graphics, usually you just see like a muzzle shot. So you just see like the light on the barrel of whatever weapon you have, and then you just see a light traveling, kind of like it's going like, oh, you hit something. And then of course, if it hits something, it's going to make a hole, it's going to make damage, or it's going to make small little particles. It just depends on what's the game that the person is making. So those are the differences. Like I said, the real world gaming, they mostly use raycasting. Like old school, they use or like if you're using like cannons or big objects that don't have to fly fast, then you would use the instantiate method. I like the instantiate method; it makes it look more cartoony. Okay, and then this is the effect you get. So if you look at this one, I have raycast shooting. Look at that, it crashed. My game crashed. Let me try to open it again.
Fernando, we have like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you guys have any questions about these two methods of shooting? So let me show you the other raycasting method. Okay, so here, oh, it didn't save my stuff. Wow, it completely crashed. Okay, it completely crashed. It didn't save my my progress. So make sure you save your stuff, guys. Press file, save before anything happens. Like happened to me right now. Just crashed and I lost my my progress. Okay, So yeah, that is it for today, guys. Do you guys have any questions about instantiating, raycasting?
Nope, not really. Makes
I just
sense.
had one, like the other question, like the bullet turning sideways.
Oh yeah, the reason why the bullet's turning sideways because when you
No,
create
I mean
a
like how to make the like it's a capsule, right? So it's shooting
yeah.
upright.
The reason why because when you instantiate it always instantiate with identity rotation, so that means it's always facing 0, 0, 0 on the rotation, but yours is rotating 90, so then it ignores the 90 and it just flips it back to 0. The way to change it is you're supposed to make a game object, like a main game object that has 0 everything and then 1, 1, 1 the scale, and then drag that object into that game object, and then you could rotate that object. So then when you spawn it, it grabs it, it still saves that information.
So you
I'll
can't
help
like
you.
just change the rotation.
You can't just change. Well, you can do it through code, but then that's the long way. The easiest way is just put another game object, and
So you
that's
can't
easier.
just like do it to the transform thing in the inspector.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then I think Benjamin, you had a question, right? Something was not working.
Yeah, because look at my view. It's kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah, Kumar, did you have anything else to say before I? Because I think that's the end, and I can just help Benjamin and help you get.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you are all able to understand and you're not feeling that there's something that you didn't get it. So just wanted to make sure that you are all on the same page, because we want to make sure that your spent time is worthwhile. So that's my concern. Feel free to express or share, give feedback. Okay. All right. How many of you actually go back and play with it? Just type
Me.
your answer or say it.
I usually go and try some random stuff.
Yeah, me. I sort of edit, mess around with the world, and see what I can do.
Okay. All right. Very good. So this exposure to visual programming and game development, game science, game mechanic, all these things, you know that somebody else, software engineers, they do the behind the scene work for you to do the drag and drop or menu driven, property driven type of development environment, such as Unity. So if you're into software development, software engineering, app development, then all these things will culminate and you will be able to make the connections as you learn and continue to learn and pay attention and enjoy the process. That's all. And so the next one, keep in mind, all of you at the high school level, whether or not you're going to take the AP Computer Science, the Wednesday 6:30 to 8:30 Java Programming and Fundamentals class is going to be highly useful. So make sure that you attend and be on time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. We'll see you guys next week. Benjamin, I'll help you out right now. And
All right,
Parsha,
thanks.
if you want to stay, I can also help you out.
Thanks
with
for
your
that.
bullet
Nope.
thing. All right. Take care, Gavin. Bye,
All right,
Edward.
bye.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what you have, Benjamin. So, what were you saying? Something is wrong?
Yeah, look at my view looking.
Oh, okay. So you accidentally clicked ISO. You see where it says it there? It says triple lines and it says ISO. No, on your scene. On your scene. Yeah, this is. You see the triple lines? No. Keep moving right. Keep moving right.
Right?
Your mouse. Yeah, right there. Right there. Click on that. Yeah. Is that what you wanted?
ISO perspective. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted.
Yeah, perspective is a normal view you see. Isometric is the other view. This is for isometric games.
Okay.
Does that fix your problem?
Yeah, I fixed my problem. Thank you.
No problem. All right, Parshar, let me help you out with your bullet thing.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. So what you're gonna do is just create an empty game object.
Where? Just create one.
Just create one, yeah. And just drag and drop your bullet inside that game object. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now just press F and then focus on that, or double click on it so you can see where it is. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, that looks good. And then click on your bullet. See if it's centered. Okay, looks like it's not centered. You see the X, Y, Z? It's not centered. So go to your position. Position.
Like, okay, this and then
Yeah,
zero,
zero.
zero.
Yeah. 0. 0 on the Z. Okay, and just go look for it. Double click on your bullet on the left. Okay, and then let's see. Your rotations are weird also. Maybe you want to straighten them out. I think on the X it's -90. Okay, and then 0 everything else.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
No, your Z is at -900 and something. Make it 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so then instead of for the player, I mean for the shooting, it should be the game object instead.
Yeah. So now, yeah, just rename the game. No. You still have to make the prefab. So change it. Call it something else.
Oh, okay.
Okay, bullet. Okay. Delete the bullet on the bottom, or you just right click, delete that. Yeah. Okay. And now and then good.
Yeah, that's already in.
Yeah. Now press play. Now it should work.
Where'd it go? Missing prefab. That's what it says.
Oh, I know what you did. You you erased your capsule. Nice. Because you deleted the capsule first, and then you put you're supposed to put the thing first, and then the prefab. Okay. Click on that. Yeah. Click on the arrow. Is there anything else in the arrow?
The arrow?
On the left, yeah. Okay, it is dumb. Okay, right click and delete the dummy. Yeah, delete. Open prefab. Okay, delete the dummy, or delete the bullet missing prefab. Yeah, delete that. Okay, right click on bullet. 3D object. Capsule. Okay, and then rotate it 90 degrees on the X. Okay, click and drag red inside the capsule. Yeah, and then add a rigid body to the bullet. Yeah, add component, rigid body, and then capsule collider. Yeah, that should work. Okay, go back, and then now I think that should be good.
That's
and then make it smaller.
Wait, does this even matter? No, right?
This should matter. Well, not the position now. It's just the size.
It's just the size, right? Okay.
Okay. To apply the size on the top right, click on overrides and then just override it.
Wait, where? Overrides.
Top right, yeah, overrides and then apply all. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. That should be it. Yeah. Go to player and make sure you have the bullet in the. Yeah. Okay. Bullet
it says
one.
bullet 1. Is that right? Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Then press play.
Just keep on like the blankets and the pillows.
Okay, yeah, it works. But then, what is that?
The bullet you created and you never deleted.
Yeah, I think okay. Yeah, I'll just delete it really quick. Also, like, how would I? So I remember when we did this thing, I just loaded it, like the explosions.
How do you do explosions?
Like the on contact stuff.
Oh, I see. So click on the bullet.
Wait, so I have to wait one more sec. Oh, I have to delete this, right?
You don't have to delete it now that's there. Just leave it there for a bit.
No, no.
I mean,
like
just for
when-
now, just for editing, and then delete it when you're done with it.
Like that. That's okay.
Yeah, just leave it for now.
Okay. And then shooting, right? Scene shooting.
No. We have to make a new script. So just yeah, make a new script. Add,
Can I
add
copy the
component.
script over? Or
Yeah,
no?
you could just copy the script over.
Okay.
Yeah, and then add component to the bullet.
What just happened? Add component to the bullet.
Add explosions. And then double click on explosions and let's open up that script because we need to edit it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 6 pictures.
Okay. So there we need to change. Okay, let's go to line 31.
Line 31. Okay.
Yeah, and then press enter. And then type in void on no after the curly brace.
After the curly.
Yeah, void on collision enter. Collision enter.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No if. Let us. I'll copy everything inside from line 21 all the way to line 29. Yeah, copy. Control X. Just cut that out.
Yeah.
And then put it in there. You're missing a curly brace at the end.
Where?
At the end of 4
Here, right?
each. No.
What?
Yeah, after 4 each.
Here?
Sorry, after line 36. Yeah, after the loop, that's what I meant. Now press enter and then curly brace. No, end curly brace, not open curly brace. Yeah, press Control K, Control D.
Control K, Control V.
D.
Oh, D.
Yeah, it auto formats for you. Okay, and erase the stuff inside the floats. No, inside the update, or sorry, yeah, everything inside the update. So line 19 through 22nd, delete it.
19.
Yeah, and erase one more curly brace. You don't need that one. Line 21. 21. Press Control KD also. Press Control K, Control D. Okay, that's good. Okay, we have that. Colliders. Yeah, that's it. Press Control S, save it. Okay, and then just put some cubes there.
Yeah, I'll put yeah.
And then you should be able to see the explosion once that happens. Of course, I think you need to make it. I think you need to make the power a little bit bigger. I think the explosion is not that much.
Because it's pretty small too, the bullets.
Okay. Make sure you put rigid bodies on your cubes so they react to explosions.
Okay. And then W. Yeah, I'll just work with that. And then I have to add rigid bodies, right?
Yeah. You know, you can select all of them and just add rigid body.
Yeah, that probably would have been better. That's it, right? And then
Yeah, that's it. And you should just press play. And now it should work.
Oh, I can't. It just hits it. Wait, no, that's right. I think that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, stop playing and it adds some more force to the explosion. So click on bullet 1. Oh, because you never applied it. Okay, you have to apply it on the top right. Click overrides and then apply all. You only applied it to the local one. Yeah. And just say give more power, but just go like, yeah, no, put like 50.
Okay.
And I'll also do this. Stop playing. Because you're only changing the local one, the bullet that's on your scene. Delete the bullet on your scene because it's kind of pointless just changing it. So on the left hand side on the hierarchy, just right click on the bullet and just delete it.
This thing, right?
Yeah, just delete it. Yeah, and if you want to make changes, just click on the actual bullet on the bottom. Yeah, and then just change it there. Because if you change it on one, it's not going to change the main copy. You have to change the main copy in order for the other ones to receive the change.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks a lot.
So now there's more force in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. I think I'm noticing your bullets are just going through the cube sometimes. So make it not discrete. Make it continuous on the rigid body. So stop playing. Scroll up on your bullet, and then you see there's this collision detection. No, at the bottom. Collision detection. Yeah, yeah. And also change your layer. Change it to player. Yeah.
Change children, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just press play and it should work better. Mm-hmm. And if you want more explosion, just add more stuff. And remember, the reason why it's shooting up, not down, is because of my player movement. So I'll fix the player movement later.
It comes from like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.